As the Democratic National Convention kicks off in Chicago, former President Trump's campaign has rolled out a counter-program led by two prominent GOP senators who have taken aim at Vice President Kamala Harris's economic policies. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin and Senator Rick Scott of Florida spoke at the Trump International Hotel and Tower, using charts to spotlight rising prices on essential goods. They criticized Harris, asserting that her limited proposals indicate a lack of understanding of economic issues. Senator Scott highlighted Trump's business acumen, contrasting it with what he sees as Harris's lack of insight into business operations. Donald Trump is a business person who understands how businesses work, Scott remarked, adding, Harris's understanding is insufficient and her running mate is similarly uninformed. The senators placed the blame for the current economic difficulties squarely on Harris, President Biden, and their administration, accusing them of exacerbating inflation. In response, Harris's campaign has introduced a comprehensive economic plan that includes measures such as cracking down on corporate price gouging, expanding the child tax credit, and capping prescription drug prices for all individuals. The plan also proposes a $40 billion fund to support local housing and landlord issues. Scott dismissed Harris's price control proposals as pure socialism and argued that they are impractical. I want a free market economy, which is what Trump represents, he said. Johnson echoed these sentiments, criticizing Harris and her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, for their lack of private sector experience. Running a successful business is complex, Johnson said, emphasizing that government leaders should both understand business operations and empathize with business owners. The Trump campaign has outlined a strategy to counter Harris's presence at the DNC by focusing on battleground states. Brian Hughes, a senior communications advisor for the Trump campaign, stated that daily press conferences at the Trump Hotel will highlight contrasts with Harris's campaign, which he criticized for limiting media access. Johnson also called on the media to scrutinize Harris more closely, suggesting that she might avoid press conferences before Election Day. The American people need to demand answers, he said. Johnson warned against Harris receiving a free pass from the media, stressing that she has not faced a primary or significant vetting process. Both senators pointed out the absence of vulnerable Democratic senators from the DNC, suggesting that these senators are avoiding Harris to protect their campaigns. They know she's toxic, Scott said, implying that Harris's policies could harm their re-election efforts. Johnson agreed, predicting that if Harris becomes president, these senators will support her nearly unconditionally. The Harris campaign has not yet responded to requests for comment.